Hi there, welcome back to the Mesopotamia versus unit of history. This is Mr. Baines and we are on lesson 2 of this unit. Today's driving question is, how different was the Norman feudal system to the Mesopotamian kings? Once again, the first task is to do the knowledge quiz. Like last week, half the questions are revision on Mesopotamian questions and the other half are on the feudal system. This will really help with today's lesson, so pause the video and go and do the quiz now. Brilliant. Now we're going to look at how Mesopotamia was ruled. Mesopotamia had a centralized government, but had many smaller regions with their own separate governments. The kings ruled over their own cities. There was not a king of Mesopotamia. There were many kings. Having many kings led to internal fighting over land and resources. As the cities grew, the kings created secular leaders called the Lagul. Both these and priests were involved in governing the cities. Gradually, the Lagul became more powerful than the king. Religion was very important in Mesopotamia. Kings, priests, and the Laguls were seen as an intermediary between the gods and the people. The kings were in charge of laws, war, and caring for women and orphans. They created dynasties which passed to sons. Women were not involved in politics. So the Mesopotamians created governments, but they had a king for each city. There was a combination of monarchy and democracy. The assembly or the government was the main control of it all. The king even had to ask permission from the assembly. A big difference there between Mesopotamia and the Normans. Now your first task is to look at these first 4 kings of the Sumer, written on the Sumerian king list, which you can see here. So this is where they wrote all of their kings. As we can remember from previous lessons, the Mesopotamians invented writing. However, looking at the length of reign, there seems to be a problem. As we can see, Joshua reigned for 1,200 years. Kulasina Bel reigned for 960 years. Nangalishna reigned for 670 years, and Entara Ana reigned for 420 years. I want you to go on your Google Documents now for task 1 and in your own words explain what is the problem with the length of reign for the first 4 Sumerian kings. Off you go and do that task now. Fantastic! Now looking back at the normal feudal system, now we've looked at this a few times now, so you should know this feudal system really well. Feudalism in England was set up by William the Conqueror. William was king, but he could not run the country on his own. He needed people to help him. This is a big similarity for both the Mesopotamian kings and the Norman kings because they had to have people help them rule. Remember, the Mesopotamians needed permission from the Assembly of Government, and the king had barons and knights helping him rule the country in the normal feudal system. However, the feudal system had more structure, with certain people in society in their place. Civilians at the bottom did all the work. Knights did all the fighting, barons collect taxes, and the king was just on top. With different groups of people having different roles and responsibilities, but the higher up you look in society, the less people there are. Is that fair? Your second task is to use the sentence starters you can see in front of you now and write your opinion on the fairness of the feudal system. Think of 2 different things. I've mentioned both of them. So maybe rewind the video, have a listen to what I said about fairness. Off you go and finish those sentence starters now. Great job. Now on to the exam question. Once again, we are looking at similarities. You will need to find 2 similarities and you'll explain why they are similar. On the Google Docs called exam question, there are sentence starters to help you. Remember to use all of those sentence starters to get the full 4 marks. And once you are done the exam question, then you go on to the exit ticket. This video is the only place where you can find the answers to the Mesopotamian questions. So make sure you're paid attention. You can watch this video again. Look out for those answers. Well done, Year 7s. Keep up the really good work. We're going to do some interesting stuff next week, and I'll see you then. Thank you.